Milestones aren't just markers of time, they are lessons in purpose, growth, and faith. Welcome back to SSQJ Chronicles, the space where Black empowerment, faith, and life lessons intersect. I'm SSQJ, and I'm so glad you chose to spend this time with me today. We are in week 2 of our April series, Spring Forth, Purpose and Calling. Last week, we laid the foundation. We talked about what it means to discover your God-given purpose, what alignment looks like in everyday life, and the truth that the world overlooking you does not mean God has overlooked you. If you missed week 1, go back and watch it. It will set the table for everything we're building this month. But today, somebody say today, we're going deeper because I want to talk about the moments in your life that you might have called setbacks, detours, or losses, and show you why those very moments were actually classrooms. Today, we are talking about the lessons hidden inside your milestones. What most people hear, when most people hear the word milestone, they think of the highlight reel, like graduation, a promotion, a marriage, the birth of a child, a business lunch, the big celebratory moments that get the posts and the balloons and the congratulations. And yes, those are milestones. Absolutely. But I want to expand that definition of a milestone today, because some of the most significant milestones in our lives don't come with balloons. Some of them come with tears. And I ain't talking about tears of joy. Some come with conversion. Some come quietly in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday. When something shifts inside you and nothing looks the same afterwards. A milestone is any moment that sparks a turning point, a before and an after, a moment where you were changed by loss, by growth, by revelation, by resilience. And what I have come to understand is every milestone, without exception, carries a lesson about who you are and who God is calling you to become, and what your purpose requires of you in this next season. Let's talk about 3 kinds of milestones and what they teach us. The first kind is the milestone of challenge. The job loss, the diagnosis, the relationship that ended, the dream that didn't work out the way you planned. These milestones hurt, and hurt badly. And they are supposed to. But they also do something remarkable. They strip away everything that was never really yours to begin with. They clarify, they refine, they force you to ask, if I lost this, what do I still have? And more importantly, what is God trying to build in me through this? The second kind is the milestone of success. The moment something actually works. The door that opens. The yes after 100 no's. And you would think success would be simple. Just receive it and move forward. But no. Success carries its own lessons. It asks, can you be trusted with this? Yeah. Will you use this for God's glory or for your own? Will you stay humble when the room starts applauding? The third kind of milestone is the milestone of transition, the in between, the moment you have left one chapter, but the next one hasn't fully opened yet. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable milestone of all, because there is nothing to celebrate yet, nothing to grieve anymore. You are just waiting, becoming. And the lesson of the transition is this: God is not absent in the in between. God is most at the work there. I also want to speak to someone who might be listening and thinking, I haven't had any major milestones yet. My life feels ordinary. Nothing dramatic has happened. First of all, ordinary faithfulness is not small. Let me say that again. Ordinary faithfulness is not small. Showing up every day, doing the work, staying committed when no one is watching. That's a milestone. That is a testimony. But I also want you to look closer because milestones are not always grand. Sometimes a milestone is the conversation that changed how you see yourself. The book that cracked something open. The book that cracked something open in you. The moment you finally said no to something that had been draining your purpose for years. And I mean years. The quiet morning you decided to try again. Those count. Every single one of them count. And each one is pointing you towards something. The question is whether you are paying attention. And once again, I had to speak to my community, especially Black women, because here's something I have noticed. We are rarely given permission to honor our own milestones. We are taught to keep moving, push through. Don't make it a big deal. Be strong, be grateful, don't complain. And so we carry our milestones, especially the painful ones, in silence. We don't process them, we don't learn from them, we just survive them and move on to the next thing. But survival without reflection is not transformation. And transformation is what purpose requires. I want to give you permission today, real intentional permission, to go back and look at your milestones, not to reopen old wounds, but to excavate wisdom, to ask, what did that season teach me about my resilience, about my gifts, about what I will never allow again, about what God was preparing me for? Your story, every chapter of it, including the ones you are ashamed of and the ones that broke you, it is not a liability. It is your greatest asset as a purpose-driven person. Own it, learn from it, and let it fuel where you are going. Before we close out today, here is your reflection prompt for this week. I want you to sit with this, not just think about it, but really sit with it. What lessons in your life are pointing you towards your God-given purpose? I'm gonna ask it again. What lessons in your life are pointing you toward your God given purpose. Think about a milestone, painful or joyful, big or small, and ask yourself, what did I learn? What was God saying? How is that lesson still speaking into my life today? Write it down, pray over it, and if you feel moved, share it in the comments. You never know whose healing begins with your honesty. I am so grateful for this community and for every single one of you who keeps showing up. This month is doing something in me too, truly. And I don't take it lightly that we are on this journey together. Next week, we are going to tackle something that every single one of us has faced: doubt and resistance, the internal voices and the external obstacles that try to convince you that your purpose is too big, too late, or too much. We are going to face that head on. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. Share this with someone who needs to be reminded that their milestones are not mistakes. And most importantly, keep going. Your story is still being written. Rewind. Scratch that. Because I can recall Isaiah chapter 46, verses 9 through 10. And God declared in that scripture, God declared the ending from the beginning. So your story isn't still being written, it's already written. But this ain't the end of your story. There is still more to it. So your story don't end here. It don't end here. This is not how it ends. This has been another SSQJ Chronicle.